Hey VC, this is a VC video, a response video, listening to a guy called Gerald Voodoo Ray. Fantastic. This is for Bill Camarada, D. Verada, 800 plus subscriptions contest. Bill, congratulations. Of course, you're getting all those subscribers, you know. You're a good man with a good wit and a great collection. I was prompted to go ahead and respond to this, catching Roger Coleman's response, and you know, I'm gonna wax philosophic because that's my nature on your query. But again, congratulations on all the subscribers. Glad to know you in cyberspace, even though we have not met. I was just looking at the Residence laser disc that you gave me. Still sealed, you know. I don't have a disc player, so I keep it sealed for now. But here's my honest answer to I don't get it. Because of my absolute voracious love and interest in music since I can remember, I have tried to, and I constantly am updating my understanding of music and what's going on with it. And so what I'm trying to say is this: there's a lot of music that I don't care for, but if you want to know whether or not I get whether or not others like it, I do. And I guess that's the real answer that I have. If you've watched my videos, you know that there's a lot of music I don't listen to. I veer away generally from the mainstream. I am almost offended by cookie cutter mainstream music. And it has a lot to do with generation. Like, for example, when I was a child, of course, I do think it really was a golden era of pop music, the 60s, never to be repeated. Radio was king and queen. You know, they just played so much amazing music on the radio. And for the longest, as an adult, when I hear clear channel radio, especially the pop stuff that for kids, you know, going, you know, I mean, everything from Britney Spears back then to whatever it is now, you know, I don't even know because it's not for me, so how would I know? But when I hear that sound of commercial pop music, it just is very offensive because it's all about, to me, it's about mind control. It's not about giving people good choices of quality music. And unfortunately, I get why that's the way it is. I sure in the hell don't like it, you know, because it's commerce. It's about what can we sell to people. Plus, with, you know, over the decades, the emergence of understanding of psychology, you know, how to manipulate people, you know, it's in full play. You know, people have been geared to like certain things. Not that it's bad, but just that I don't care for it, okay? So I don't really have to name any names because I can understand. Even Jandek, you know, Jandek on Corwood, I can understand his appeal to listeners. It's real obvious that Kiss, you know, has a great appeal on a number of levels to the child and everyone, you know. But, you know, I don't appreciate what, you know, the music. But that's such an obvious one, you know. But the thing is, if, you know, I went to a show, I'd have a great time, I'm sure, you know, the spectacle, okay? As I've said in the past, there's been music where I struggled to understand it and get what it was about as I've grown as a person. When I was younger, for example, Henry Cow, didn't really struggle with, no. Magma was scary to me at first. I was intrigued by Throbbing Gristle, why it made me queasy, but enticing at the same time. When I first heard those musics back in the 70s, when I first heard the Residents, the single, the Residents play the Beatles, play the... Anyway, a friend of mine had the single, and it was just creepy sounding when I first heard it. That has nothing to do with not getting it, but I'm just trying to illustrate how music and context and when and where and how and at what time in our lives, I think all that plays into, our sensibilities in regards to art and music and what we get out of it, what we see, what we can understand, what we appreciate. So, while I've done I do a consistent amount of bashing of the blues, it actually doesn't tell you the truth of the fact, which is I love that music as much as everyone else, but I'm assaulted by it. It's like I don't have a choice to not hear it. Does that make sense? So I don't choose to go into that space. It also has to do with something that Ornette Coleman said once. I read this, where Ornette Coleman said he came home from a gig one night and said to his mother, he said, "Mom, it just occurred to me that I'm playing music for people to kill themselves by." And he's on point, you know what I'm saying? That's what I get from that music, all this other stuff that people are telling me, well, approach it like this, approach it like that. I've been there and done that, and I will say it arrogantly like that. It's like I get it. I don't want to be there in that space. The hip-hop that I don't listen to on a daily basis, I get it. Even some of the really, really, what seems like juvenile, very reactionary, kind of like almost like not even quite English, because I hear it blasting out of cars and you listen and it's like all this slang, and all this sex double speak. And a lot of it isn't even double speak, you know what I mean? I get how people, and apparently most women, turn off the part of the mind that processes many of the misogynistic lyrics that run throughout music, not just hip-hop, but you know what I'm talking about, So I get how humans do that, but it's like, it's always gotten me. It's like, I'd like be at parties or in a situation and all of a sudden here comes a really bumping track, but it's like, bitch, ho this and suck my this, and just very disrespectful. And I'm looking at the women and then I'm thinking, don't you hear that? It's like, what the hell's going on here? Okay. So, I thought again that, responding to your contest, Bill, congratulations again. Another opportunity to just kind of go ahead and, kind of wax poetic, or just, I got a lot on my mind all the time, and it seems like there is a plethora of people speaking, saying all kinds of things. And it's, it's like, so here's my 2 cents. And, well worth being heard, It's something that I give a perspective that I know gives some people something to think about, So I get it, you know what I'm saying? Some music is very grating, and it's like some things that people like are like comical to me, or it's like, I can't take that seriously, but I get why they like it, because I am always studying humans. I'm always looking at human behavior, and looking to understand patterns of behavior better all the time, because I do agree that we are carbon-based, pattern-based creatures, that, we develop habits, and that's how we do things. And, I think a lot of what people are about and a lot of what we do is very, very predictable, and interesting how, again, we live in the mind, so it's like we're just in this bubble. I forget your name who described it that way. Nicely stated. But it's like, we're in our little bubble of entertainment, and that's all we can see. But I'm always observing that is part of human behavior. So, I understand why people like all kinds of stuff. I get it. Congratulations, Bill.